My name is Jacob Lutz. I'm chef owner of Port City Royal in St. John, New Brunswick. I've been interested in the history of East Coast cuisine because it is so varied, it's so regional. From the very beginning, wanted to tap into St. John. We didn't want to be a restaurant in St. John, we wanted to be an extension of St. John. I still remember speaking to a chef I worked for in Ottawa, telling him about my dream of coming back to the East Coast and opening a restaurant that focused on East Coast cuisine. And he just laughed. He's like, well, what are you going to do, lobsters and mussels? It's like, well, there's more than that. As far as I'm concerned, it's more interesting than many other provinces' cuisines. Go back 2 generations to my grandparents or other people's grandparents. Those are the people that know. That's where the history is rich. My grandparents, you know, they were big on preserving jams, jellies, pickles. My grandmother always instilled this idea of sitting down and enjoying one's company, talking about the food, and not feeling as though you had to rush anything. It was just about the hospitality of caring for one another through food. My grandmother would forage with my grandfather. I mean, she comes from an era where everything had to be cared for from beginning to end. She was really good at that. I don't know why more people don't do it. You run out and you're just looking for stuff. As long as things are growing, we'll go out and yeah, we'll forage as much as we can. Typically what happens is we'll go out with something in mind. On our way to finding it, we'll find other things. I will bring that back to the restaurant, clean it up. For instance, we went out goose tongue green picking this past weekend and we got quite a bit and try to get that on the menu at some point this week. As a chef, you're always looking for new flavors to introduce onto plates. Whereas others, you know, food is just sustenance. For me, it can be the utmost experience. I expect to never define East Coast cuisine. I merely expect Port City Royal to be another iteration of the definition of East Coast cuisine, and then on a grander scale, another iteration of the definition of Canadian cuisine.